guys, I'm going to shade this girl. She dried up, and I'm going to use slightly bigger brush. This is number 6. Cirrus, Round, Kalinsky, Sable, Winsor & Newton, England. So this is, if you want to spend some money on your brushes, this is, you spend a little bit like that. I'm going to use a little bit of black. This is purple. I'm going to use a little bit of black from my black watercolor. I'm going to take a little bit of the pigment, put it on my palette here. I'm going to smooth it around and make a wash. See, it's turning a little bit blue-black. And this is the nose of my dog. She's right there. She wants to know. But you could make it slightly warmer with brown. With a touch of brown, you make it warmer. Hello, Greta. Hi. And then quickly, and then you test it on your paper. See if it's dark enough. Maybe it's a little light. I think it needs to be a little darker, so you take a little bit more. A little bit more, maybe this is better. Looks about the same, honestly, I don't know. A little more. Watercolor is very, very transparent. That's if you want a really solid black, you need to get gouache. So I'm going to test it again. It's about the same coverage. So I'm going to proceed. So here we have a few shadows, right? The most dramatic ones are under the collar, under the flange, on the sides, under the chest, defining her body, and on the sides of the body, underneath here, there's a shadow. This is a shadow, that is a shadow, this is a shadow, that is a shadow, this going down, this is a shadow defining the sleeve, this is a shadow here, this is a shadow, this is a shadow, this is a shadow, this is everything in a shadow, same in the shadow in between the legs, more on the left side. So you're kind of like tracing it in your mind first, and you're understanding. So there's a shadow that points towards her neck here, a little bit more points towards there, one that goes underneath there. So you're kind of understanding with your eye before you start drawing, you're understanding where the shadows go logically, so they define the volume of this figure, right? And what makes sense. So let's see. So there was something dramatic. So how dark it is going to be. So this is going to be in shadow. This is going to be in a little bit of shadow. Remember, it's going to dry out a little lighter. So here is a little shadow. Here it's going to make a shadow. So it's sort of like an informed improvisation. It's not exact replica, but I'm trying to think that her body has this roundness and a volume, like an egg shape underneath, and kind of following that shape. It's a bit of a spontaneous process. Yes, you could screw it up, yes, but try not to and just keep calm and keep shading. Follow the body. And this might be enough. You might want to shade her hair a little bit. I'm going to switch to the thinner brush and take a little bit of the brown and black. So again, it's a transparent wash, and again, have a habit of practicing before you put it on your illustration. Have a different piece of paper. It doesn't have to be on the same piece of paper, right? Obviously. And so I'm going to shade the hair. Maybe it's not dark enough, then maybe you need a little more. So this is gouache. It also becomes transparent, and it also gives you nice edge, nice watercolory edge. Right, and then she's drying, and I'm going to make brown sandals. Let's see, for example. You really need a little bit, goes a long way. Forgot to draw a sole. Buttons here, you could return to buttons and color them. They are, what are they? They're not red over there. They are this brown color, so I could mix a little brown with a red. So maybe just brown. I'm wiping my brush. Maybe there is too much paint here. I'm going to take some off. It's not always an option with the watercolor. You could take a little bit off while it's still wet. You could go back and with the clean dry brush and then you wait again. You could also go back, right? After everything dries, you could take your pencil. If I find mine, you could take that too. There it is, and or even you could use some Pigma or black marker. I have a Sharpie, and go back and into her features and just bring back the black line, so it's a little bit more obvious, because now in comparison to the bright paints, your line disappears. And you could do that. You could go over your pencil lines with another pencil or a marker or a Pigma or a brush marker. So bring that back. See, she's coming back a little stronger with the holding line. And you almost create yet another drawing on top of what you have. You're gonna tell me it's very labor intensive, but it has results. Keep in mind that if it's just a fine point Sharpie, it's gonna give you, the line is gonna be all the same. If you want a quality line of line to be, to have variety, then maybe you could do, what is this? That's another small folder. This is not, I have a brush marker somewhere. Anyway, here. Let's see if it works. Right, so this is Faber-Castell Artist Pen Black Ink B brush, and you could do that. This will give you compatible variety in the line quality. And your line will be black, bright black, as opposed to pencil-y gray, which it becomes in comparison to your painted surface. Also, the line, the movement is premeditated, so think and plan your movement before you commit to the line. For the skin, you might want to use a brown one, but this is fine. And yes, you could take a really, really extra fine pen and do something to her eyes if you want. Let's see if this is drying out. Dried out bastard. Okay. Let's see. Here's a Micron Pigma. Really fine point, 0.101. So I could do eyes, eyebrows, and nostrils, and the mouth. You want to do eyelashes. There. And if the lips are too pale, you could dab it again. You could use a little bit more. Give her a red lipstick or something. You could do this. Done.